Hi, I'm Danny with eTrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at our CURT TruTrack 2P weight distribution trailer hitch. Having a weight distribution attached to a trailer is a great option, especially if you're wanting to prolong the life of your suspension in your vehicle, prolong the wear on your tires, and also it'll improve the drivability for when you're going down to the campsite. So having a weight distribution system is great for balancing out your load. So instead of all that tongue weight being down on that hitch, it's going to balance that out and relieve some pressure on those back tires, which will create better drivability and less wear. So better even distributed weight on those tires will create turning and handling way better with this system. So if you are having some drivability issues with you and your trailer, or your tires are wearing unevenly, then getting a weight distribution system is a great idea. Now let's take a little bit of a closer look. So this CURT distribution system has a 2-inch shank that'll fit into your 2-inch by 2-inch hitch receiver. It also comes with a 5/8 inch pin and clip. And this system does come with a 2 5/16 hitch ball, so do double check if your trailer can accommodate that. This spring bar is attached to this adjustable bracket here. You can raise and lower it as needed just to get the right fit for your trailer. But if you ever want to take this apart, you're going to want to raise your trailer up. And once you have it raised, that releases the tension on these spring bars. You're not going to want to take this out before you release that tension. But now you want to go ahead and take this bracket out, and you should be able to pull these away. And then to remove your spring bar, you're going to want to lift up, pull this tab out, and it'll fall right out. Throw them in the back of your car and hit the grocery store while you're at the campsite. When you're ready to hook back up to your trailer and you're headed to the next site, you want to go ahead and put your spring bar back in until it clicks. And now you're going to want to grab this device that comes with the kit, and you're going to want to put that up underneath here, tilt it forward, and apply a little pressure so this goes into place. And you may need to scoot it back just a little bit so you can get that clip in there. Now we're going to put our clip back with our pin, and we're ready to go. The install of this system is pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy to do. You can do it at home. There is a lot of minute details that you need to keep in mind. So if that kind of frightens you, or you don't have the tools or time, feel free to check out our dealer locator and we can find a professional to do it for you. Without further ado, let's get into the install. All right, so first off, we're going to unhitch our vehicle from our camper here, and then we're going to get our camper level. If you're not on completely level ground, you can always take a measurement from a spot on your camper just to make sure, the front and the back, just to make sure it's level. And then we're going to come up here and get a measurement from the ground to the top of our ball coupler here. So today, once we got ours leveled, it's about 21 1/4. And that's going to be important for later. So now we're going to go ahead and find the tongue weight of this specific camper, and that's going to be important to know for later when we're determining the height of our ball mount. I am going to be using this tongue weight scale. You can pick one up at eTrailer if you don't have one at home. Looks like the tongue weight for this camper is about 800 pounds. As per the instructions, it does say to add 1/8 of an inch per 100 pounds of tongue weight. So our ball mount will be about an inch higher than the top of our coupler because it's about 800 pounds of tongue weight. You're going to want to come out here and get some measurements. So from the ground to your top of your fender here is a measurement you're going to want to keep in mind. Just jot that down. And then you're also going to want to come to the back here and get that same measurement. Those numbers will come back when you put the weight back on the hitch. You're going to want to come back and check those. First, we're going to want to put our ball mount in place. If you do have a low clearance vehicle, you can put it in like that, depending on the height you need. But for today, we're going to put it in just like that. I'm going to go ahead and put this pin and clip in as well. You're going to want to put your ball in your ball mount. Now I'm going to go ahead and torque this ball down to the specs and the instructions. It is pretty high. So if you don't have the means to do it on your own, feel free to check out our dealer locator. We can find someone who can torque this down for you. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get this torqued down. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put the ball mount into place with these bolts here. Make sure the conical tooth washer is facing towards the metal so it bites in. But I'm gonna go ahead and place that in correspondence with our measurement earlier, just to make sure we have the right height here. We are setting this about an inch higher than our measurement we took earlier, just because that tongue weight's gonna be pushing down, so everything's level when it's all said and done. We did find out that we are going to need a shank with a higher drop just due to how high our Wagoneer sits off the ground and how low the Airstream sits. So we just needed that little bit more of a drop, and we do have options here at eTrailer to make that work. Let's go ahead and tighten these down. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these washers facing in on this side as well, followed by our nylock nut here. I'm gonna go ahead and tilt this back. It does say it's better to have it being tilted towards the vehicle rather than tilted towards us. But I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this top bolt down here with a 27mm socket. Next, we're gonna get our spring bars up into our ball mount here. I'm just gonna give it a good coating of some grease and then push that into place here. All right. Before we get all this connected, you're going to want to make sure you know the height of your vehicle without anything attached to it. So we just use this for reference, just to see what it was without it attached. And go ahead and lower your receiver down onto the ball, but keep a little bit of weight on there just so it doesn't, since this isn't fully tightened yet, doesn't pull this down. Then once we got this coupled on, we went ahead and lifted it back up to that height that we got before. Now you're gonna wanna raise your spring bar best you can, and you're gonna wanna have your bracket past this 4-inch mark from the end here. It looks like on our trailer here, we can put it right against this existing box. Do keep in mind if you do have a box up front, you may have to move it depending on getting it past that 4-inch mark. Get your 2 narrower brackets and sandwich them on your frame here. Then you want to get your bigger bracket, put your bolt in, put that through the rest. Tighten it down with a nylock. So now you're going to want to get your L-shaped bracket and slide it up between these 2 brackets, and you're going to want it in the highest position with still being able to get your bolt through. So now I'm going to tighten with a 19mm socket. And I'm going to make sure to go ahead and do this full assembly on the other side as well. Now you want to go ahead and take your device that comes in the kit and put it under your spring bar and try and get this into place. And once that's in place, you can go ahead and put your L bracket in with your clip on the bottom. Now I'm going to do this with the other side. We're going to go ahead and lower the camper to put the full weight on the hitch. Something we wanted to look for is this bar being nearly parallel with our A frame here. So ours was a little off, so we decided to lower this down. And there are going to be a lot of little adjustments you're going to have to do in this step, but kind of keep with it and you should be able to get it. But we lowered this down. In doing so, that kind of brought some tension off. So what we did was we tightened this set screw, so that created more of a drop to our ball, and that created more of a tension to our spring bars here. So once you get that spring bar nearly level, the first thing you're going to want to check is the distance from the ground to your upper wheel well here. And this measurement should be nearly the same as when without the trailer on the back. The back measurement is nearly the same, but this can drop about 1 inch and you should be fine there. If you do get your measurement off on the front wheel well there and it's not the same, something to fix that is to put this set screw further back this way to further tilt and further put pressure on these spring bars, and then recheck. Once you got all your measurements the way you like it and everything's nice and level, you're going to want to torque down your bolts here to the specs and the instructions, and then there's another set screw at the bottom here that you're also going to want to torque down. And this bottom set screw will be an inch socket. And that was a look at our CURT TruTrack 2P weight distribution hitch. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at eTrailer. I'm Daniel. Thanks for watching.